Thanks for joining us today as we cover the parable of the sower. Show you appreciate our work by dropping us a like and leave a comment in the discussion. Jesus is surrounded by a large group of people in the outdoor marketplace of Galilee. He is on a boat in the seaport as they have gathered to listen to him speak in great number on land.
A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants, so that they did not bear grain. Still, other seed fell on good soil. It came up, grew, and produced a crop, yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown.
The crowd listens intently as Jesus continues speaking.
Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The seed on rocky places represents those who hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. The seed among thorns represents those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by life's worries, riches, and pleasures, and they do not mature. But the seed on good soil represents those who hear the word, understand it, and produce a crop, some 30, some 60, some 100 times what was sown.
The crowd is silent for a moment as they consider Jesus' words.
So is the one who received the seed that fell on good soil. They hear the word and understand it, producing a crop, some 30, some 60, some 100 times what was sown.
As explained in the King James Study Bible, copyright 1988, by Liberty University, detaining Matthew 13:1 to 13:10. On one of the busiest days of Jesus' earthly ministry, he gave an extended series of parables, 7 in the Gospel of Matthew and 4 in Mark, including one not included in Matthew. This is the turning point in Matthew's Gospel. Already sensing his impending rejection, Jesus now expresses the mystery form of the kingdom that will feature the church. His early ministry involved a proclamation of the spiritual principles of the kingdom. To bring in a political kingdom before men were born again would be a travesty. Therefore, an interval is now announced between the Messiah's original appearance and his final return. That interval is the church age, during which believers are citizens of the kingdom that is within them. This section in the Bible introduces a new subject, a new approach, and a new method of teaching by parables. He spake in parables, a common form of teaching in the Near East, used to convey spiritual truth through a comparison of earthly comparisons. The parable of the sower is set in an agricultural context. A sower went forth refers to the ancient seed sower planting a crop. Jesus later interpreted this parable himself. The seed depicts the word of God, and thus the sower is the gospel evangelist. The wayside is the path trampled through the field. It was packed hard, and the seed found no root. Thus, the fowls, depicting demons and wicked ones, snatched it away. Here, there was no response at all to the gospel. The second category is called stony places, or the rocky ledge beneath a thin, shallow layer of soil. This thin crust would warm quickly, causing the seed to sprout instantly, but without adequate rootage or moisture. Thus, the sun scorched the crop, and it withered away. The third group of seeds fell among thorns that had not been ploughed. The thorns, depicting wild growth, choked out the crop. The good ground represents well-ploughed and prepared soil, capable of producing a large crop. The statement, "Who hath ears to hear," goes beyond physical hearing and implies an inner spiritual reception of truth, which is very important and worth hearing again. "Who hath ears to hear" goes beyond physical hearing and implies an inner spiritual reception of truth shared by all of mankind. Now, this prompted the disciples to ask why he had spoken to them in parables. Whereas before he had used parables to illustrate his messages, now they formed the basis of his message. We hope that you've enjoyed today's story and lesson on the parable of the sower. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to receive all future work spreading the teachings of the Bible.